Hey everyone, it's Cassie.
It's Espy. We're best friend-in-laws. We've got some shit to say.
I'm ready. Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bestie.
Hello. So today I wanted to tell our listeners, hello, welcome back.
Welcome back.
And I want to flip the script and interview Espy.
I'm here. I'm ready.
Who was little Espy?
Uh-oh.
But before we get into that, how was your week?
Always hectic. Sports, kids, drop-offs, work, all, and then repeat.
I feel you on that. It's always like very scheduled and very the same routine every day.
I'm pretty sure if I'm not asleep, I'm in my car driving.
Yeah, my car definitely looks like a mom car inside.
I think I pumped gas like 3 times this week. I'm not joking.
Ooh,
I've been all over town and back.
With the gas prices?
Yeah. A bitch is broke. I'm hungry too.
All right, so let's dive in. Who was little Espy?
So, I'm from Fresno, California, born and raised. I grew up all over different sides of Fresno. I went to 3 elementaries. It's a lot less than you, but still more than just like
The normal?
more than normal. I went to Erickson, I went to Homan, and then I went to Callaway. And then I went to one middle school. I went to Sequoia, and then I graduated from Roosevelt. I am my mom's only child, but I'm my dad's baby. 4th daughter in line. Daddy was a Rolling Stone. He had 4 different baby mamas. So, baby mamas.
So, did you grow up with any of them?
My dad was an every other weekend dad, but he also made sure that like all of our schedules aligned. So he always made sure that he had all his girls at the same time, which was nice because then I got an opportunity to like bond with my sisters. But yeah, every other weekend dad until about 8th grade. Very random. Yeah, but then that's when my parents got back together. It was weird. Actually had never been together.
Oh. So then it's like that was all new and a transition for you and your sibling.
Very weird. Yeah. Very awkward and weird.
You're like, Mom, do you have to be dating my dad?
Like, who are you? You can't talk to me. You don't live here. Yeah. So my mom and dad met at work. But also, like, same situation, work party. Mm-hmm. Valentine's Day, hookup. Oh. I am a Valentine's baby. It is what it is. You might have been too, since we're 2 days apart. At the Matha, but my mom had admitted, I'm a Valentine's baby, and it's okay. I'm here for a reason, so I'll accept that. They did not see eye to eye at first, but my mom chose to move forward with the pregnancy and decided to keep me and was determined to, no matter what, like, she was just going to raise me on her own, so.
But did she have support on her own?
Yeah, my grandparents were very supportive, no matter what, so, they did a lot of my raising. But, she was like 27 when she had me. So I think that she was old enough to make that decision. Yeah. It's not like it was, she was super young and didn't know what she was doing. She just made that decision that she was ready to have a family of her own. So she definitely was like, all right, I'm going to do this. No problem. You don't have to be involved, but if you're interested, then you're welcome to be. So there's that. then I was born and I looked exactly like my dad, so he was love at first sight and decided to come and be around. So, but they did co-parent. And they co-parented very well. I actually don't have any bad memories of my parents and their co-parenting. So that's kind of nice. I've never seen them fight about co-parenting. Visitation was always really easy. The transition was always really easy. If I wanted to go to my dad's, I went to my dad's. You know, if I wasn't feeling it, they allowed it. They both did a really good job, so I have to applaud them for that. They were good examples for me, even though that I never thought I would be in that situation, but they were good co-parenting.
So then once they got together in middle school, they were together all the way
until he passed in 2012. So yeah, that was weird. My dad went through a lot of health issues with his liver and stuff, and he started getting sick when I was around 8th grade, so it was about in the year 2000-ish, maybe 98, 99-ish, and he ended up we moved in with him. That's how I ended up in Kahlua. And, yeah, it was weird. All of a sudden, it went from, like, a single-parent household to, like, 2 parents and their rules, and I don't know. We butted heads for a little while, because it's almost like having a step-parent all of a sudden, but it's your parent. Yeah, it was very weird, and then, like I said, like, we all had different moms, so, at that point, I have one sister who's 10 years older than me, so she was already out of the house and living her life. And then the middle sister, she was older than me, but I think at that time, like, I don't know if visitation had just stopped, but I remember, the every other weekend thing just kind of wasn't happening anymore. But we're only 2 years apart, so I don't really remember what happened there. Nothing significant to make me think that it was something bad, but she was still around. We still saw her. We supported her for all of her school stuff and everything like that. But it was just like, now it was me, my mom, and dad. And so it was different. It was nice at times, but it was hard to adapt. Yeah.
Do you see, like, any resentment from that change with your siblings?
If there was, I don't think anything was directed at me. I've never had that conversation with them to see how they felt about that. Maybe one day we'll try to bring that up, but I never felt any resentment or felt like our relationship had changed or anything like that. Like I said, while I was in middle school and while I was in high school, we were still very much around each other. I think everybody's lives were just kind of evolving at that point, so it wasn't like the dynamic had changed. I think everybody was just growing in their own directions, kind of thing.
Yeah. Because, like, from my standpoint, like, even my siblings that grew up with my dad in their house, sometimes I'm always like, oh, like, you're lucky you got to have that, you know? But
oh, yeah. I could see that.
I don't really, like, resent them, but it was like, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
So, fast forward, you had your children at what age?
So I got to high school, I completed high school, and then, that actually, I was in my senior year when I met their dad. And we kind of just like, my senior year, I was single, I was going to have a single senior year, like that was my goal. That was my everything, like I'm going to end this with a bang. There's no going back for me, like I was like, no. Fuck boys, like I'm just gonna have the best time living my life my senior year. And then we met. But it was very much like, oh yeah, I'll talk to you, I'll entertain you, call me after 9 when it's free. Yeah.
No unlimited back then.
Yeah. He is or was a friend of my cousin. So we were at a family party and during the summertime, and they swung by to just kind of like hang out at the party or whatever, and my cousin pulled up with a few of his friends, and there he was.
We'll call him.
It's okay. I mean,
we'll call him the ex right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Husband number 1.
Oh yeah, and so you guys got married. That's
yeah,
right.
Eventually, yeah. But yeah. So we kind of just he was like, "Hey, who is that? She look cute. Let me get your number." Blah blah blah. And I was kind of like, I don't know. I'm not trying to talk to nobody. Like I said, single senior year. It was my whole goal.
Were you and are you a relationship girl?
You know what? At that point, I wasn't looking for anything. I just was trying to have fun. But when I am in a relationship, I am a very, like, committed relationship. Like, there is no one else. I don't date for fun. I date for long term. So, like, each of the guys that I dated in high school was, like, for, like, a long span. Like, not, like, a 2-week relationship or here or there or whatnot. Like, it was, like, oh, happy 8-month anniversary. Like, yeah. When I dated, I dated. And
I could see you being that girl, though.
Yeah. I was very committed to most of the people that I had just, like, even young. I was like, yeah, no, I'm you. That's it. But, yeah, I was trying so hard to not talk to him, to not be with him, to not anything. And he had asked my cousin for, hey, is it okay? Like, she's cute. You know, I really feel like this girl. Like, can you give me her number? Is it okay? Can I have your permission to talk to her? And so I guess my cousin was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. You know, just don't fuck up.
Yeah.
Because they knew each other in their little friend group and was like, don't fuck with this one. I'll kill you. Nah. So yeah, I guess that's he got the green light, and I was kind of still like doing my thing during senior year. Oh, I'll see you here, I'll see you there, maybe after school, it would take me out for a date, whatever, like kind of just casual stuff. He was already out of high school, so he was working, and whenever he had some downtime, that's when we kind of caught up. But after I graduated, same thing, right? No internet, no cable, no whatever. So it was kind of like, oh, now I have all this free time. Let's hang out. And yeah, that's a bad idea. It's a bad idea when you don't have nothing to do.
When you don't have cable.
Yeah.
You know, things happen. I mean, that's how all my kids came along. So I just say, make sure you have Netflix now.
Yeah, protection first. Double, triple up. If you don't want it, protect yourself. But yeah, so I graduated high school. I had actually no plans of starting a family. You know, things just kind of happened that way. But I did my ASVAB. I was going to the military. I was on my way out. I was registered at Fresno Community, and I was planning to leave by the end of the summer. I was like, I'm out of here. Boom, pregnant. No fucking way. Like, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way. And that's why I was telling you, like, I felt like, I think maybe me and you had a little bit of different situation. Like, I think you felt love, or like, this is, you wanted to marry him, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, what's your last name? Oh shoot, we're gonna have a baby. Like, yeah. Okay, I'll figure it out. And I remember going home, as I was still living at home. And I remember going home and telling my mom, like, wake up, I have to talk to you. And I think she knew. She knew, like, immediately that something was, like, wrong. But the thing is that because my mom was 27 when she had me, she was, like, ecstatic. I'm going to be a grandma. Yeah. This is the greatest thing ever. Like, in happy tears. And I was shattered. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Like, you're not sure. Like,
I'm not ready for this. Like, I'm starting life. What do you mean? You know, it was a very hard pill to swallow that I was pregnant. But there was never a doubt that I wasn't going to go through with it. I'd never even second thought, like, no, I'm not doing this. Yeah. And then woke my dad up, of course. Yeah. Had to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that he said to me was, there will not be a baby in this house.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to leave. I wasn't going to not have the baby, so I got to have this baby somewhere else.
Yeah. Did you ever have that conversation with your dad? It was like because he was sick and maybe like the stress level, he was just like, not as if like he didn't want the baby, but it was just like, I can't handle another mouth in the house right now because he was going through his stuff.
No, because he started to decline more towards like 2000, like a little bit later than that.
Okay.
He passed in 2012. Isaac was born in 2010. So it had to have been more towards like another 5 years before he started to absolutely decline.
So it was just his old
school
roles.
Honestly,
yeah.
I knew he was disappointed when he didn't have a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Like there wasn't I'm mad, I'm raising my voice, or I'm crying, or anything like that. It was literally just like, there will not be a baby in this house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, huh, all right, pack up. I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I gotta go somewhere. Like my time is up. In other words. And I knew that he wanted better for me. I knew that he knew. We met with the recruiter. Like he knew what the plan was, and for me to kind of
throw that plan out the window,
flush it down the toilet. Yeah, like he was just like, because I come from a very military family. Like everybody has served. All my uncles, my cousins, my sisters, like my dad, my grandparents, they served. My whole life was supposed to go in that direction, and it didn't. And I think that he felt that immediately. Like, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah,
that's what I heard. In like, yeah, no,
your choices,
yeah,
took you from that path.
Yeah, because of the type of relationship that I had with their dad, I ended up back at home temporarily. Mm-hmm. And I knew that, because you have to realize that after Lorenzo was born, he melted. Mm-hmm. That was his grandbaby. Yeah. Like, it was, first grandson. He just completely melted.
It was like the lava on the rock.
Oh, yeah. He just was like butter. Like, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And, because of how things ended up at the beginning of our relationship, I mean, like I said,
you guys didn't know each other.
We didn't know each other. It was all bad. The stress of a baby. We're kids. I was 17 when I got pregnant, 18 when I had him. Their dad was 19. We were babies, having babies. And I ended up back at home for a little while. And I remember having to make the phone call, like, please come get me. Because I ended up living with his parents. Mm-hmm. And they were there within a heartbeat to come and pick me up with all of my stuff. Mm-hmm. And my dad had told me, like, this is still your room. Yeah. Like, this is your house. This is your home. And I know part of him, like, kind of was like, damn, did I do this kind of thing? Because you could feel his, like, you're welcome here, and you probably should have never have left. Mm-hmm. And maybe I should have stayed separate for a while. I mean, like, until we figured things out. Mm-hmm. I had the help at home. I could have just gotten through it. Yeah. But he was still so little, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Yeah. So, yeah, baby number 1.
And then, obviously, you guys had to worked it out because baby number 2 came along before marriage, after marriage. When did you guys get married?
So, I took him back. We figured it out. This was about year number 2. We got an apartment. We were working and had our own little family in our own little apartment, and we're just trying to get by for a while. And we did get better. I will say that. As far as through my eyes, I thought that things were getting better. We were doing well. Financially, we were doing well. He had a good job. I had a good job. You know, for being kids with the kid, we were doing okay. And then, how did we get to that point? Because I got pregnant in 2010, early 2010. And I just remember that because they're 5 years apart. So I remember by the time he was going into kindergarten, I was like, my baby phase is gone. Mm-hmm. There's no more baby. I have this whole kid who's going to school.
Bye, Mom.
Yeah, first day of school. I'm broken and done. And I think that's when I kind of, like, the reality hit me that, like, my little bestie was leaving and didn't need me anymore because I had spent 5 years with just one child. Mm-hmm. And he was my everything. And
then not really knowing who you are because you're still young and you just invested all that into him.
Yeah, I was just mom. Yeah. Okay, now, I just want to be honest and say that I had a total blackout, I don't even know what to call it, but in an honest way to say it, my trauma has made me block out a lot of things that I have just chosen not to remember anymore, to where I had to go dig out actual legal documents to answer the rest of these questions, which is slightly embarrassing, but I'm going to stay 100. And now I can continue on. Yes. Now we have the timeline.
Now we have the timeline of marriage and baby number 2.
That's embarrassing, but it is what it is. Okay, so we are at 2009, which I'm still in the right path. Lorenzo was in TK. It's 2009. And I'm having baby fever at this point. And I remember saying that, like, okay, well, you know, I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I want to have another baby. Like, I'm craving. I know that I want another baby. So I remember that we took my IUD out. We made the decision. I was on the marina. 5 years had went by. I was up. It was time to make a decision. What are we going to do? Are we going to have another baby? Are we not? And I knew that I physically wanted another baby. I was ready. So we made that decision, and not for nothing, we did go very randomly. I remember I was sitting, I was a medical assistant. I was sitting at my desk, and we were texting, and he was just like, do you feel like getting married today? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm at work. Like, you need to chill. That's, first of all, not how you ask someone if you want to get married. That's weird, but okay. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah. But I also knew that I was like, well, no, because I need to know whether or not, you know, my mom and dad can be there. Like, well, I'm not just gonna on the whim do it. I need to at least have my parents there.
Schedule it.
Yeah, so at this point you didn't need an appointment to get married.
Just walk in.
Yeah, you could literally just walk in, fill out the form, pay the fee, and go to the back and get married. So I remember making as many phone calls as I possibly could to see if they could meet me down there. I left work early. And I remember his sister was like, well, but you can't wear that. Like, we need to go get you a dress. And I was like, this is turning into something that I didn't even think was going to happen, first of all. So what are we even really doing right now? I didn't wear a white dress. I had, like, a spring floral dress because it was in the springtime. And I remember trying to tell them, like, hold on, please, hold on. Like, I'm waiting for my mom and dad to get here. Like, please. And my mom was also my babysitter at that time, so I remember her showing up with Lorenzo, and I just remember she was looking at me like kind of teary-eyed and like, your dad's at work. Like, why are you doing this? Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, they can't wait any longer. Like, we have to go. Like, we have to do this now. So we went to the back, quickly got married. And I remember coming out of the courthouse, or the, what's the place that used to go vote now? Little one downtown.
The hall, yeah.
Yeah, Hall of
City
Records
Hall.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember coming out, and my dad missed it. Mm-hmm. And so he showed up, and he said, like, well, I tried to get here as fast as I could, but did I miss it? And we said, yeah, we did it. We're done. Yeah. And he was still in his work clothes. I have pictures of us somewhere.
Like with him
in his uniform, yeah. I mean, he did his best. He really tried, but he missed it. And
it's okay.
No, I didn't expect that. I just remember being really upset. Because it made me feel like the second time I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And I disappointed him again. I didn't expect that. Whew.
It's okay.
All right, give me a second.
We allow tears. So, we're back at the marriage part. Dad came.
Yes.
Emotions are high. And that's okay. No judgment here. It's okay to cry. I'm probably going to cry soon, too.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the first time I've ever said that out loud. And I think it just kind of, like, punched me in the gut. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of hard to swallow. Yeah, so, downtown, small civil ceremony, the word had spread really quickly. Mm-hmm. And we had our reception at Acapulco.
Oh, gosh.
Back when that was still open. And I remember his dad had got us a room in the back, and aunts, uncles, grandparents, all of a sudden we walked in and everybody was there and very supportive of us. Yeah. It was nobody like, what were you thinking? You know, there really wasn't anybody like that. I mean, obviously we had a child together, and we had. I should back it up. He did propose at one point in time. Yeah, he did propose. We just kind of never. I don't know. We just never moved on it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we had saved up money, and we were trying to figure out what we were gonna do. We looked at venues. You know, This wasn't a spring upon everybody. Like, it's not like we just like eloped.
We're bored today. We're gonna
right. We did. It's all coming back to me now, so I'm just like, okay, I got this. He did propose to me. I was very angry because he got a ring, and it wasn't my size. It had the little plastic spacer on the bottom. And he asked me while we were sitting on the couch, and I was like, so romantico. Yeah. Like, okay, yeah, I mean, of course I'm in it, right? Mm-hmm. You know, we pushed through one hard hill, and you know, we had our baby and we were doing well, so you know, there was an engagement. Mm-hmm. We did save up. We were checking out venues. We were going to do the Japanese garden. We were looking over here, looking over there, trying to pick out what we were going to do. And at this point, we had actually reserved, I remember we went to the Ramada on Shaw.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And we reserved the room, and we ended up deciding to get our deposit back, and we put the deposit down on a home. Mm-hmm. It was marriage or mortgage. Yeah. We went for mortgage. Mm-hmm. So we did buy a home together. And so, like, all of that being said, it wasn't a surprise. Yeah. People just thought we were going to have
a big wedding.
The wedding. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, you know, a part of me, I think that's where the emotions come from, because I feel like, did I make that right decision? You know, ultimately, I didn't have the wedding with my dad. And I didn't even get to keep the house from the first marriage. So, you know, did I make the right decisions? I mean, I guess probably, you know, ultimately, you know, we did still go through with the marriage. My dad did show up, you know, I did get my pictures with him, whatever. He just didn't do the dad things for me. And I think that's kind of where I have that regret. It's not regret of the marriage. It's regret that I didn't do things properly had I known that I wasn't going to have my dad. So yeah, so that's where we're going to get. Finally, I've come to the conclusion.
And you weren't pregnant at this
marriage?
Okay.
No, it wasn't a shotgun wedding.
You got married around the spring, so towards around the time you possibly got pregnant with Isaac?
Yeah, I think maybe.
Honeymoon a baby?
Maybe, yeah.
Because you had him in November.
Yes. Everything after that kind of just boom, 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 back to back. You know, they told me I was going to be pregnant within the year after I took my IUD out, and like 30 days later I was pregnant. So
first cycle.
Yeah. Bam. It was like, oh, you wanted a baby?
Yeah, here it is.
Here it is. Yeah, so that's where Isaac came along. We stayed together for 10 years. We were married 5 of the years. And ultimately we ended up calling it quits. I filed on an emergency situation that I needed to get out of pretty quickly. And we can get into that later on. Down the road. No more tears tonight.
I want to fast forward to the happy part where you met your now husband.
Yeah, I like that.
Who you actually knew for many years.
Yes, actually, Jesse and I met. I was 14, he was 15. So we met rewind all the way back. We had a mutual friend, and this was our quinceañera, like prime time. You know, I was in everybody's quinceañera at that point. It was like prom for kids, you know? It was definitely, if you were somebody, you were in somebody's quince. So we had a mutual friend in common. We were in her quinceañera, and then we both went to Roosevelt. Well, almost everybody in that group did. We ended up going to Roosevelt together, where he probably thought I was invisible because he never talked to me again after that.
So you were the girl, but not the girl at the time.
We didn't even glance in each other's direction at that point, for sure. I had my eyes on someone else. He had his eyes on someone else. I'm actually really good friends with the one that he had his eyes on, so I think that's really funny to talk about now. But it's a cute story, ultimately. The one I had my eyes on, it absolutely just didn't, I was stupid, so that didn't work out. I was were
you a stupid girl?
I was like, look at me, and he was like, who are you? So then, we went through all 4 years at Roosevelt together. You know, it was like, hey, you know, in the hallway, and hey, and I thought he was the cutest thing ever, but I don't think he actually saw me. And he'll tell you a different story, but I just don't believe it, because, you know.
Yeah.
He's a player and a pimp. It's okay.
And we all had those days.
And I just wasn't a host, so I didn't catch his attention.
We'll get back to that.
Again, another episode. Yeah, so after our separation, this has to be 2015 or something like that. I separated from my ex and went ahead, filed for the divorce and things like that, and I slid in that DM. I shoot the shot.
Sure slid in.
I actually wanted that on our wedding invitations. It went down in the DMs, but I lost that battle. But
what DMs though back then was
Instagram.
Okay. So
Yeah, the original.
Oh, yeah, there was Instagram.
The original. I didn't really have a MySpace or anything like that. I had a Facebook, but I didn't really, it was just like for the kids and the family.
Mm-hmm.
I was new to Instagram, and I remember I started adding people from high school, and there he was, tagged in someone else's thing, and I was like, ooh, hey, I haven't seen that guy in a while. Clicked on his profile. His profile was, you know, it was popping. I liked everything on there, and he was still the same cool guy that I remember in high school. And I was like, hey, how are you? What are you up to?
Yeah.
You know, shoot my shot. It worked. It worked.
You hooked him in.
Yeah, and so we kind of just started talking, and I think he helped me get through the shit that I was going through, because I was in a really, really dark place. And he showed me what it was to be loved. Yeah. Authentically loved. And it was different for me. It's still very hard to accept today. Yeah. But yeah, it worked itself out.
Yeah, because you have to think, like, when you're going through stuff like that and you have someone and they're loving you in a way that you've never received, you don't believe it's real, you know, or gonna last. And he was there for all that.
Oh, I just didn't think it was real at all.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's just trying, like, you know.
He's still a player.
Well, and not, he was just too sweet to be true. Like, literally, we were in dating stages, and I would, you know, he would bring me lunch or whatever, and I remember going out to my car one day, and there was, like, a bouquet of roses on my windshield, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, no one's ever done this. Yeah. Like, just sweeter than sweet, and, you know, there was no way this could be real. I'd never felt that. I've never experienced that. I didn't get wooed over, you know? And so it was different, and it was beautiful, and I fell hard.
Did you guys move pretty fast? As to, like, getting together, moving in? Obviously, I was there for the engagement, so I know you guys were together years before the marriage.
My videographer.
I was literally taking that video. I was like, why is he having me record a purse? Like, okay, so what, you got her a purse?
Yeah, I protected myself for a while. We dated. He knew I had children. He knew what he was getting himself into. And while we dated, he didn't meet the children till about 4 months in. So I stayed guarded. I knew that if this didn't work out, I didn't want my children to know someone that they didn't need to know, kind of thing. Just playing it safe, I guess you could say. And so I was like, he knew about them. I would talk about them. He knew I was at, you know, soccer or this or that or whatever. And, you know, he would always just be like, oh, you know, how was their game this weekend? Or, like, he took interest in, which was, like, different for me because I'd never dated as a mom. Yeah. So it was kind of cool that somebody wasn't just like, oh my God, you're busy. You're always busy. Like,
you don't have time for me.
Yeah. I didn't expect that because, you know, you hear the, like, no one's gonna want you.
Oh, yeah.
You're broken. You're trash. You're
not worth
goods.
Being loved. And who's gonna want you with 3 kids?
You have 3 kids.
I have 3. But I'm just saying, we all been there.
Yeah. Yeah, who's gonna want you? You're just a mom, like, kind of shit. And I came with a lot of baggage that he helped me pick up and carry. So that was a beautiful thing for me to experience in the beginning. We moved in with each other later on down that line of the year. And started meeting the family and things like that. Yeah. So we were together 7 years before he proposed.
But in his defense, you used to say you didn't want to get married again.
Oh, all the time.
And then you, like, changed your mind.
All the time. Like, that was my absolute answer. I mean, shit, I had a divorce party.
He probably would have married you, like, in 2 years.
Yeah. Had I not put up my own roadblocks to it, I probably would have been married a lot sooner.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like I said, like, I had a divorce party. I was, like, elated to be divorced. Fuck marriage. No, I never want to be married again. If this is what marriage is, I want nothing to do with it.
But it wasn't what marriage was. It was just
the wrong marriage.
The wrong marriage.
With the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately. But yeah, I blocked my own blessings for way too long, almost a decade. Mm-hmm. And I remember when he actually asked me, I felt my legs, like I was gonna give out, like, oh my god, it's happening. Mm-hmm. Like, but then also I was like, but wait, I'm the one who didn't want this to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, 7 years into our relationship.
Yeah.
He jokes, he says these things take time. You gotta know if you're the one.
No.
I think that's his way of coping with the fact that I was like, ew, marriage.
Yeah. I think you know when you know, and like even in my aspect, I knew before he did, obviously. Mm-hmm. But like, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes, yeah, you just wait for that moment or want that thing. I mean,
yeah.
He wanted to get you a nice rock, and he sure got it. So
I am blessed.
You know?
Yeah. So the wedding happened 2 years after. No. Yeah.
No, she's lying. Don't believe her.
1 year? I planned it in 1 year.
You planned it in 1 year, but you eloped.
I mean, we were getting married.
Got married a whole year before the actual wedding.
We were getting married regardless. So, you gotta go pick up the piece of paper.
I just want that noted that I go to sign her marriage certificate on the day of the wedding, and it's actually done.
It's fake. You don't need that.
You don't need a signature. And I was looking at the date, and it was a whole year before the day of the wedding.
Yeah.
But, that was... You guys hit it for a whole year, and I give you kudos for that.
We were getting married anyways. Everybody else was going to be there.
No, I think you did it right. You didn't get that big wedding the first time, and you wanted to have that, and you got that. And I'm proud of you guys for that.
Yeah.
And,
it was marriage beautiful. Or mortgage this time, we had marriage. You got to live it up.
Yeah. I mean, now with the house prices, you probably should have got that house. But it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
Yeah. I probably should have went with mortgage.
I had a great time.
Could have got married in the backyard or something.
Yeah. We could have, rented out Pueblitos. I'm just kidding. They're close to.
Damn it, my wedding was beautiful. It was worth every penny.
It was so beautiful. I couldn't see it that night because my contacts.
Oh my gosh.
But it was beautiful.
High.
I looked so high in all your pictures.
So that's how we've come to being best friend-in-laws.
Yeah. Little did we know, it still took me some time to get there. But I got there, and I'm glad because I feel like even though we've only known each other for 5 years, it's like I've known you a lifetime. Even though we're doing this and I'm learning, a lot about you and you're learning about me.
Yeah.
It's,
so therapeutic.
Yeah, and it's still...
I
don't feel like I don't know you any less.
Yeah. I mean, I think until you sit down with somebody and actually ask them these questions, they may come up in little blips in conversations, but to... have to sit and reflect and think about it, this is true therapy. Mm-hmm. It feels good.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Okay. Well, this has been interesting.
You were on the hot seat today.
Holy. I think now that our introductions have been laid down, I think we can start having some fun with this podcast. Mm. At least we have a way for our listeners to not I don't want to say pick a character. Mm-hmm. When you're watching a TV and you're like, oh yeah. I'm more like her. I'm more like yeah. But kind of engage with us, kind of get a feel for who we are and how we both have our stories and our ups and our downs and. Mm-hmm. Life is not perfect. It doesn't have to be, but it's how you overcome these things.
Yeah.
And this is what we've got to talk about.
And there's no straight road to anything.
Right.
And I feel like it's good that we talk about our past because it built us to who we are, but it doesn't define us.
Right.
And so I like that. And for more episodes to come.
Yeah. So you know where to find us. Follow our socials at bfil.podcast. Every Thursday on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Please like and review.
Follow us. We would greatly appreciate. And don't forget to share on any of your socials.
Yeah. Get the word out.
Get the word out. And
we've got some stuff to say.
We'll definitely be here a while.
All right. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.